Hello, welcome back. This is video number 5. This is the new evolution of CPA offers. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the purpose of this video is to show you the roadblocks when it comes to finding high converting offers, especially for newbies. So if you're just getting started and you've tried CPA offers before and you haven't had a lot of success, this might work. This might be an easier route for you. And the reason why it's easier is it's becoming more popular. It's sort of a smart artificial intelligence computer, and that can figure out what kind of CPA offers your traffic is going to convert the best. So how does that work? All right, before I talk about that, let's talk about the problem with CPA. The problem with CPA is that there is a learning curve. Newbies who jump in without a mentor or experience will often fail. Now, this is because it requires one to choose the right offers and connect them with the right audience or the right traffic source. So some CPA offers will not convert really well on certain traffic sources. So if you don't know that and you don't know how that works and you try it out, that might be the explanation as to why you're not seeing any conversions. Especially when it comes to paid traffic, what we found over the years is that you really need to know your audience. So trying to promote 20 different offers to 20 different niches means that you have to understand 20 different audiences. Now, you may not have heard this, but you need to know the demographic of that audience. So in other words, you really need to think about, okay, what is this person, what they're thinking like, what's their day-to-day, what they like, what they don't like. That means you're going to have to figure out 20 different audiences. So specializing in one vertical or one niche, like weight loss for maybe moms who may have had a kid, have gotten pregnant, and they're looking to lose weight. That particular segment of audience might be somebody you're looking to attract, or somebody who visits a specific site in a specific country. So a lot of times what we found is offers that you go and you target people in Italy who are interested in a specific thing. So a lot of times United States or UK type traffic is really expensive, and you don't want to start there. If you start there, you're going to be competing with a lot of super affiliates. So you generally want to start with something like India or Italy or Norway or Russia, places like that, which is a lot of places that most CPA affiliates do not target. And this is what we call tier 2 or tier 3 countries. They have cheaper traffic, but their traffic tends to convert a lot better. So this is the reason why a lot of CPA affiliates fail. So if that sounds like you, it's okay, not a big deal. Let's move on. So even if you're doing a lower number, like 5 different products, different offers, it's still going to be hard. So another example or another analogy is making friends. You know, if you meet 5 different people and you try to learn those 5 different people, it's going to be hard, right? But if you hone in one person and you really get to know that person really well, and you're going to need to figure out the likes and dislikes, it's going to be a lot easier. So knowing that that's an issue, what if there was an easier way to convert web traffic, regardless of what the offer is? Let's say that we have a mainstream sweepstakes offer, or mainstream dating offer, or a diet loss, weight loss pill mainstream offer. Is that even possible to just send a specific general targeted traffic to a link and it convert? Is that possible? So that was not possible, a decade ago or even a few years ago, but it is possible today. And that's what we call smart offers. So it's basically a smart computer that will figure out what best offer to present to the traffic that you're sending. So the supercomputer will detect, okay, this visitor is coming from this country and maybe this website. Let's show them this offer. So the smart computer or the smart offer for that network might have maybe 100 different offers, and it'll know based on an algorithm which best offer to present. And the answer, this is what we call smart links. Smart links. Okay, what is a smart link? Now, if you do a Google search on smart links CPA, you will find that more and more CPA networks are creating their own smart link system, which is basically a really, really smart system that can figure out where the person is coming from and which offer to present them. In fact, we've recently started promoting smart links, and we found that promoting them, actually, we get more conversions promoting a smart link versus promoting a specific offer, which is really interesting. So you're basically allowing the artificial intelligence or the computer to figure that out. Now, this is great for what we call remnant traffic, or traffic that isn't necessarily target 100%, but this is great for newbies. All right. So let me show you how to find the networks that offer this really cool feature right now. All right. Okay, so what I would do is I would head on over to offervault.com or even afpaying.com and type in the word smart link. It's a very common word, so most CPA networks will know what a smart link is. Now, not every CPA network has what we call a smart link. So if you type that in, sometimes you'll see smart, okay, write this one right here. It says binary crypto smart link. So we know cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are very, very popular right now. Basically, if we click this here, and we got smart link, no aggressive and no adult, mobile optimized. That means that if you drive generic or general mobile, let's say pop ads, that would be good. So if we click this here, we can get a general idea of the smart link. So this one says no aggressive, no adult, mobile optimized, international. That's good. So another thing that works really well when it comes to the approval process is when you apply to an affiliate CPA network, you say, I'm a media buying agency or I'm a digital marketing agency, and I'm looking specifically to promote your smart link or promote this specific offer. So the more specific you get, the better that you will get approved. Because most of the times, CPA networks, they just get generic applications. But if you're specific, they know, okay, this person is smart, or this person's very specific. They know exactly what they want. That's a good sign. So these are smart link offers. And I can tell you off the bat a few more, but let's go to afpaying.com and type in smart link and just see what we get. So most sites nowadays have smart links. Los Polos, that's actually a dating adults smart link. OG Ads has a smart link, or they may, I don't know. Advertin has a smart link. So smart links are very popular nowadays. So just go through, see what you like, and go from there. You just got to figure out, am I going through the mainstream audience? Am I going through mainstream dating, or am I going through, adult type stuff? So once you figure that out, you can go find the smart link that fits you. So Mobi Idea also has a smart link. They have really good offers, but they have a smart link as well. Now, what I found is that some CPA networks, their smart link works really well, and some CPA networks, their smart link doesn't really work really well. So one way to going about doing this is to contact your affiliate manager and just ask them, okay, so which smart link converts on what country and what traffic source? And the thing is, because affiliate managers, they want you to generate more leads, they're most likely going to tell you the traffic source and give you some direction on the top geos or the top countries. So that's basically how to find a smart link and why smart links are essentially the next step that you want to take. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 6, and this is going to be about CPA networks that buy your traffic. So this is a little bit different from a smart link, but there are many different other ways to generate money. And one of them is that some CPA networks will actually buy your push notification traffic. Now, what do I mean by that? What is a push notification? Push notifications are simply little boxes that show up at either corner of your browser. So let's say, for example, that you sign up for push notifications via Facebook or YouTube. Whenever somebody comments on your content, what will happen is that push notification will appear at the top right hand, sometimes top left hand, and it'll say something like, so-and-so commented on your post. Those are what we call push notifications. Now, why is that important? Well, some advertisers will actually pay you money to generate push notification subscribers. So in other words, whenever somebody, let's say you generate leads and somebody goes to a page and they like what they see and they click, yes, I would like to receive push notifications from this advertiser. So what you're essentially doing is you are building their subscriber list. So very similar to an email list, but in this case, it's a push notification list. So when they build that subscriber list, they can essentially promote anything. All right, so we talked about Facebook. We talked about what it looked like, and let's move on to the main point. So some CPA networks will have advertisers who are looking to build massive lists of these push notification subscribers. Now, all you have to do in this case is to drive traffic, get people to subscribe, and you get paid anywhere from like 4 to 6 cents. Now, while that may not seem like a lot, generating push notifications is actually very easy. So you could spend $50 and very easily get like $60 worth of push notifications. Now, some of you who are not very familiar with paid traffic might think, what? Why would I want to invest like $50 and get $60, right? I want to invest $50 and get $100. You could potentially do that after you optimize the campaign. But initially, sometimes, and most of the times, you will spend $50 and maybe get $30 back. And as you begin to optimize your campaign, you can sometimes break even and then increase from there. But that's the reality of paid traffic. So like I said, it's not much, but it can add up quick. And you can use any cheap traffic. Pop unders are really good. Popads.com or even Popcash is really good as well. In fact, we're going to be using popads.com. All right. So now that you have a general idea of that, let's move on to video number 7 and talk about traffic sources. Hello, welcome to video number 7. Let's talk about traffic sources. Okay, so there are many different types of traffic sources that you can use. Some people will recommend Facebook ads, but to be honest, Facebook ads are actually one of the hardest routes that you can take because you are going to need to have complex funnels to convert your traffic. So in other words, think about it. People are on Facebook not to buy. They are on Facebook because they're trying to figure out what their friends are doing, right? Or they're trying to socialize. So with Facebook ads, you have to put them into a funnel. You have to bring them back to kind of your product or the niche that you're promoting and go from there. So you're going to need to have a little bit more complex funnel. So sometimes you'll need to send them to an article. From that article, you can retarget them and then blah, blah, blah. That sounds a little bit more complicated to a newbie. So that's why we're not going to use Facebook ads. Then you can have what we call pops or pop unders. And what these are, can you imagine, let's say, for example, that you go to a fun website and then you're going to have a bunch of websites that pop under, maybe in a different tab. Maybe if you're using a mobile device, it pops under. So the reason why these work still is because they're not intrusive. If they were pop-ups and they popped right on top of somebody's browser, then yes, those would be very annoying and very intrusive. And the reason why this works is because somebody is searching for something and it pops up and pops under. So a lot of times they won't even know it's there until they exit out of their current browser. Now, if you target somebody in general offers like, relationships, dating, health, fitness, things like that, or biz op, making money type stuff, those are very general niches that it'll essentially apply to every single person. Now, if we think about, let's say, a philosopher called Maslow. Maslow had a theory and basically had done research and figured out that every single person needs a hierarchy of needs. For example, they need food and water, they need a shelter, and then they need love, and then they need money to get food and shelter and all of that. So because of that, if you have a generic audience, you can essentially promote very general offers and they most likely will convert. Now, remember, you're promoting a very general offer to a very general amount of traffic who maybe they're not searching for a very specific thing. So some things will convert, some things won't. It's just part of the game. All right. Now, some traffic sources for pop unders is popads.com, popcash.net. And these are some of the ones that we have used. In fact, we'll use pop ads as an example in the next video. And we'll show you how to set up a campaign and all of that. So let's go to these sites and we'll show you around. Okay, so popads.net, this is the first site, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to set up a campaign in pop ads. What's nice about pop ads and popcash, which is the website over here. So this is popcash.net, and this one is popads.net. So it's not popads.com. If we mentioned that before, it is not. It's actually the .net. But anyways, what's nice about both of these sites is it doesn't require you to invest a lot of money. In fact, you can just deposit a very minimal amount of money. I believe pop ads is like, I can't remember, it's like 10 or something around that number. But a lot of bigger traffic networks require you to deposit things like $200 or sometimes $500 and all of that. So this is kind of newbie friendly, especially if you're on a budget kind of thing. All right, so pop ads also has the ability to get traffic from news sites, general news sites around the world, adult sites, as well as mainstream sites. So depending on your offer, you can get an idea of whether pop ads will work or not. All right, so with that said, let's move on to the next video, and I'm going to walk you through step by step. Okay, so congratulations, you've reached the end of this video course. This is, of course, video number 8, and we're going to talk about pop ads traffic source. Now, to help you get started, we're going to be using pop ads as our traffic source. It's a lot easier for newbies to get started with. It doesn't require a lot of investment in terms of budget. Now, you can use other pop sources like popcash, but we like pop ads more. Now, in terms of the offers that convert really well with pop ads, number one, you want to definitely get something targeted. And number two, if you utilize something like a smart link, then it's so smart that usually it can figure out what would that person, like. Now, it's not going to know 100%, but based on what's converting in that specific area, that will actually convert. Now, I want to say you might run an ad and it may not even convert anything. That's why we recommend in the reality check of you're not going to be profitable sometimes on the first, second, third campaign. But the purpose of running that is to figure out what is actually converting. Now, bear in mind that you also need to have a tracking system set up with the platform like Volume. We've got AdsBridge, we got RedTrack, and there's a ton of other tracking systems out there. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we're going to be direct linking, which works fairly well. So if you have a smart link or you have a link to, let's say, for example, the network that buys your push notifications, that's actually easier to get set up with. So let's hop on over to Pop Ads, and I'm going to show you how to set up your campaigns correctly to start driving some traffic. Okay, so this is one of our Pop Ads accounts, and one thing you want to start out with is click on the inventory here, and you'll reach this page here. And what this does is it allows you to see where the traffic is coming from. So for example, it says United States, there's about 1 million unique traffic. There's raw traffic, there's the average bid, there's the max bid. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to see the opportunity of where your ads may appear. So the best thing to do when you create a campaign is to target a specific country and a very specific, either mobile devices or desktop computers. And you kind of want to split test things there. So maybe you only target USA, a mobile device using cellular connection, certain things like that. So this allows you to see all the countries and where all the traffic is coming from. Now, you're not able to see it, but basically on the top right-hand corner, I can see my balance of how much money I have in my account, but I didn't want to show that because the name is up there as well. Now, when you're ready to create a campaign, you click on New Campaign, and here we go. So first things first, you want to enter the name of your campaign. So we'll just say test 10. Then you have the single URL. This is going to be the URL that your tracking system gives you, or if you're direct linking, you want to get the link that the CPA offer or the CPA network provides to you. So you want to enter that here. We'll just say purefly.com/something. Now it says enable landing page prefetching. You don't need that. Those are more advanced. It says quality, all websites. Now you can target what Pop Ads deems as a better quality. So you could do 5+ or above. The only problem with this is that you are then limited to only a certain amount of traffic. The best way is to start out with all websites, and then based on the conversions and the statistics and the tracking, trying to figure out, okay, what websites are converting or not, then go from there. So we like to do that. Frequency, what this means is how many times your ad is going to appear to that specific person. So if there's a person that you're targeting, general person, that's 1 view per 24 hours, or you can do 1 view per like 7 days, or 1 view per 3 days, because we don't want people to see it too much. Typically, if they don't convert on that given moment, they are not going to convert later on, kind of thing. Because Pop Ads is not intrusive, but it's not what somebody is looking for. All right, so what this means is start or pause. That means that whenever your campaign has been approved, do you want it to immediately start or do you want it to pause? We like pause because if we do start and it happens to be we're targeting a specific country that is at midnight, for example, and we know that's not going to convert at midnight, then it'll immediately start the campaign. So we like to do pause. Prime spot, that means prime spot bidding occurs when a visitor hasn't received a pop under for the last hour. That means they have not received any pop unders, even from your competitors or somebody else on the Pop Ads network. Next, we have refer. Usually leave that as standard ad block. Now what that means is that some people have pop-up blockers, right? And then some people don't. If you do all traffic, then you're going to pay for people who have pop-up blockers and people who don't. So what we want is non-ad block only. Now we're going to do pop unders. I'm going to check this box because I don't want to allow other methods. Now the next thing is budget. You have smart bid and legacy bid. So what you want to do is for the max bid is you can type in like 005 just to start out with, and then you can enter a daily limit or budget, like say $10. And what that does is the system will bid up to that point. The next thing is we have throttling. We don't want throttling, so we always disable that. Categories is next. So we have adult, lots of different adults. So adult is obviously could be dating, mainstream dating, or something like this. Now, if we don't want any of this, we can just type in the keyword term general like this, and we can pick and choose like arts, animation, artists, entertainment, and so forth and so on. So if you have something very specific, like let's say, for example, automotive, you can select that and then click add. All right, so you can select this here, click add, and there we go. Or another way of doing this is you can type in the word general, simply click this here, and then check this, make sure that this is checked, which is automatically include descendant children categories. So if you add, what that does is it adds everything below it. So it added all the general categories. Now, what you really need to think about right now is, does the offer actually fit these categories? Because if they don't, then you're going to pay for traffic that's not going to convert. The next thing up is country targeting. So you can target specific countries. So we can target United States, we can target India, Iceland, things like that. Now, the best thing to do is to ask your affiliate manager, hey, affiliate manager, what countries convert best for this offer or for this smart link? Most of the time you'll get emails about it, but it's best to ask your affiliate manager. So if they say, well, right now the smart link converts best with India, you want to add India. Now, bear in mind that you don't want to add multiple countries if possible. Just add one country. So that way, you know, okay, if I'm getting 10, 20 different conversions from this campaign, it's all coming from India. You see, if you mix too many countries, you're not going to know what is actually working. Next up is society targeting, which is basically languages. In this case, we want to do English. And then they have populations and all of that. We're going to leave that as is. Environment targeting is basically the operating system. So if you're targeting mobile devices and you only want to target Android, you just select Android and click on add. So you can see there's Android, there's iOS, there's Mac, there's Linux, there's Windows, and more. So it really depends on what device that you are targeting. So we got screen resolutions. We normally leave that blank. Then we have device targeting. Like I said earlier, you can do smartphones. Now I recommend that you don't choose all of them. You choose one. That's it. Now, if you want to do smartphones with cellular, with 3G and 4G, and with desktop, I would create two separate campaigns. So you're going to do that. Click on smartphone. You also need to take a look at the offer. Some CPA offers will say, we only allow you to promote this to mobile phones on Wi-Fi that are using this operating system. So you need to pay careful attention to that, because if they say that and you, let's say you drive leads that are using iPhone and they don't want iPhone, then you're not going to get the sale. All right. You got to target the right target. Next up is connection targeting, basically the internet service or ISP. So that could be business, internet cafe, blah, blah, blah. Next up is if we scroll down, is time targeting. We usually leave this blank because we don't know off the bat until we do testing what the best time is. So we leave that as is. If you're doing India, then you might want to choose the time zone of India, wherever that might be, all right? Or whatever country that you are targeting. Website targeting allows you to exclude certain websites or include certain websites. Now, bear in mind, pop ads does not give you the URL to the website. What they do give, however, are numbers, and only pop ads knows what those numbers mean. So if you find that, a certain number is not converting, you can add that number here to the exclude list. Or if you're finding a specific website number that's converting really well, you can take that number and plop it right here. All right. Next up is ad score traffic validation. We normally set it as valid as allow, proxy as block, meaning if somebody logs in via a proxy, they get blocked. And the reason why is because a lot of people that have like spam bots and bots, which is something else that you have to deal with, they use proxies. So they have systems that go to web pages via proxies. They have junk, we do block, and we do bot traffic block. So we want real live human beings. We do not want bots. Now you click on summary, and what this does is it allows you to see what the traffic options are. So how much traffic you're going to get. Now, bear in mind, when I went up here, I think there's certain things that I didn't fill out. But what it's going to tell you is it's going to estimate how much traffic you're going to get. And based on that, it'll tell you, okay, you're going to be third place or you're going to be seventh place. And based on that, what you can do is change this and increase it up. So you could, instead of 0.005, you could do 0.05. And then look at the traffic estimator and see where your rank position is. All right, so when you're done, all you have to do is save the campaign and click run, and that's it. So that's how simple it is to run a pop ads campaign. Hello, and just want to say congratulations on getting access to this video course where we're going to talk about how to run what we call smart CPA offers, and we're going to combine that with some basic paid traffic. All right, so this course has been designed so that even if you're a newbie, you should be able to go through, get things set up, and start running CPA offers. All right, so let's jump right in. So this is video number 1, which is the introduction to CPA 2.0. First things first, what I want to do is talk about mindset. This is not a get-rich-quick business. All right, let me repeat that. This is not something where overnight you're going to earn $1,000 per day or even $100 a day or even $10 a day. You really need to get that out of your head. A lot of gurus in this industry will say, oh, you can make X amount of money in X amount of days. But the reality is that most people that get into CPA or paid traffic, you won't see results right away. You can scale up in the future, but it's not going to start that way. Like any business model, this is going to take a lot of hard work, especially when dealing with traffic, especially paid traffic. Oftentimes with paid traffic, you're not going to be profitable for the first several $100s. In fact, a lot of people who say, oh, I've had success with paid traffic, you have to ask them, okay, well, how many campaigns did you have fail before you found that one successful campaign? And a lot of times people don't reveal that information. So that's somewhat of a reality check. All right. So the reality is that you're going to have more failed campaigns than successes. But all it takes is that one success to scale it. All right. So you might test 10, 20 different campaigns. And out of those 10, 20 campaigns, you might find 1 or 2, which then you can hone in on those 1 and 2 and begin to scale it. So like I said, a lot of gurus out there just show you the success part, all right? They're not revealing to you that full picture. So The reason why I'm going over this is because I want you to understand full transparency, the truth, the reality. Now, don't give into that dream. It's okay to dream, but as long as you're understanding the reality here and that you're willing to push through it. So what I want to do now is give you a quick overview of what's inside this video course. Of course, this is video number 1. Video number 2 is the good and the bad. So we're going to talk about the good of CPA and the bad of CPA. And you need to know this information before you get started. Otherwise, you can get cheated or, bad things can happen. And we'll talk more about that in that particular video. Video number 3, we're going to talk about, once we discuss the bad, how do you go about protecting yourself? Video number 4, we'll talk about how to increase your approval rate when it comes to applying to CPA networks. A lot of people apply to CPA networks and then they get rejected. Why is that? And then versus someone else might apply and they may not even need to have an interview. Why is that? All right, so we'll talk about that and what you're going to need in that video. Video number 5, we'll talk about the new evolution of CPA, and this is why we call this Smart CPA offers. Video number 6, we'll talk about CPA networks that buy your traffic. Video number 7, we'll talk about traffic sources. And of course, video number 8, we'll hone in on one specific traffic source, which is going to be pop ads. And believe it or not, pop ads or pop unders still convert today. But this is a specific site which is located at popads.com. All right, so with that said, let's talk about what you need to get started. You're going to need to have a legitimate website, and a legitimate website to show people that you are a real company. You're not just a one-man band, but even if you are, that legitimate website that looks professional enough will make you look like an agency. So we'll discuss more in detail why you need that and how you can have that and how that will help bypass most of the approval process. Obviously, you're going to need to have money. Yes, sometimes we suggest you to have at least $500. And like I said, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're going to need money. If you're thinking, oh, I can do this for free with maybe SEO, then that's possible. But a lot of times with SEO, it can take months, 2, 3, 4 months just to get started. So we're talking about paid traffic here. So you're going to need to have money. And of course, you're going to need to have access to CPA offers, which we'll discuss in later detail later on. And you'll need to have access to the right traffic source. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2. Okay, so welcome back. This is video number 2. And let's talk about the good and the bad when it comes to CPA networks. So the purpose of this video is to reveal to you why this industry can sometimes get a bad name and how you can go about protecting yourself and what to look out for. So when you join a CPA network and you start to generate leads, you have to understand that a lead is not considered a lead. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that not every lead is created equal. So you'll have some good leads and you'll have some bad leads. Now, because some leads are good and some are lousy, if you accidentally send a CPA network bad leads, they have the potential of either scrubbing and doing what we call scrubbing, which is lead cleaning. So you might have sent 1,000 leads, but they're only going to pay you for 10 of them because the 1,000 may not be good. So if you had, spent maybe $200 or $300 to get those leads, then you're out. They may shut your account down and say, well, you're sending lousy leads, so we're just not going to pay you. Now, while that does seem like a legitimate reason, right? as an advertiser. If, let's say, 1,000 people sign up and then 999 people unsubscribe within minutes, then that's potential fraud, right? Now, you may not know that as somebody who is driving traffic. So there are specific elements that you can adhere to increase the quality of your traffic. So for example, let's say that you get paid for every single lead that installs an iPhone app. As you can imagine, from an advertiser standpoint, if you were to send 1,000 leads to install that app, but 999 people within minutes unsubscribe that app, that's going to look a little bit suspicious. So if you are the advertiser and you're paying $1,000 and those 999 people are illegitimate, of course, as an advertiser, you're not going to want to pay that. Now, as an affiliate, generating those leads, on the flip side, you're going to be upset because you spent that money to send to them. Now, going beyond that, some affiliate networks can further scrub those lists either for legitimate reasons or illegitimate reasons. Sometimes they may have maybe an advertiser who just decides to up and cancel. So in that case, the affiliate network is going to lose money. So sometimes they'll shut down your account for those reasons. So not getting paid is a big thing. So yes, this happens sometimes, even if you were to send really high traffic, sadly. So the way you protect yourself is to only use CPA networks that have proven themselves, proven their worth, and have good reviews. Now, some networks have a really bad reputation of just not paying at all, and you can usually find this information out. So how do you go about protecting yourself? We'll talk about that in video number 3. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3. Let's talk about how to protect yourself against bad CPA networks. This is not 100% guarantee, but this is something that we have used over the years. Okay, so like we discussed previously, there are bad CPA networks. But with that said, there are also many good ones. So how do you know if you're driving leads to, a good CPA network, meaning one that will pay you? Before we go to the site, I want to say that some CPA networks will alert you immediately, and that's why you have to have a good relationship with your affiliate manager. Sometimes they'll alert you and say, hey, these are the top countries to drive traffic to, and you start driving traffic to those top countries. And what ends up happening is you drive really bad traffic. So typically, your affiliate manager will contact you and say, hey, we noticed that the quality of your traffic is not that great. Please stop now. And they might either ban you from that offer. And some really good CPA networks will pay you, but they'll just ban you. Or they'll pay you and they'll ban you from that offer, or they'll ban you outright. Now, there are specific elements that you can adhere to kind of increase the quality of your traffic and push away the bad traffic. Now, there's a specific site called AFPaying. And let's head on over to that site and let me show you around. And this is going to be a great site on how to figure out what CPA networks are good, which ones have really bad reviews, versus which ones are legitimate and may have really good reviews. Now, ultimately, it's going to be based on your experience, but at the same time, this is going to be a good site that you can use to do your due diligence. So let's hop on over to that website. Okay, so if you go to affpaying.com, that's spelled as AFF paying, PAYING.com, affpaying.com. You'll get to the site and it's basically a directory. Now, there are other affiliate CPA directories like offervault.com, but I like this site mainly because you get real affiliates, you get affiliate reviews, and people will generally post their payments. So for example, if they got paid by the CPA network, then you get to see that people post their payments. Now, not everyone posts their payments, and there might be some really good CPA networks out there that have people that just don't post that information, but this will kind of give you a baseline on that. All right, so let me zoom in just a little bit like that. All right, so up at the top, we have your ability to search affiliate networks. So you can type in the affiliate network right here if you would like to. I can say right off the bat, Moby Idea. That's a good affiliate network. Moby Idea is also not just an affiliate CPA network, but they're also a traffic network, and they specialize in push notifications. So that's one that I can say that's good. All right, so let's just click on Moby Idea. So that actually goes to the website, so we don't want that. Okay, so for the sake of an example, I typed in Moby Idea or Mob Idea, and then you can see it down here. Add Combo is another good one. Now, you'll notice that specific CPA networks specialize in specific areas. Some will focus purely on mainstream things like sweepstakes, gift cards, vouchers, things like that. And then, of course, some will specialize in adult, like dating and other adult things. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. Now, let's click on this one here. We can see that there are about 31 positive reviews and 1 negative review. So you can get an idea of how they pay out and how fast they pay. Now, to me, this is just information. What I really pay attention to is the affiliate reviews, both the negative and the positive, and the payment proofs. So as we can see here, this person says they pay well to the affiliate network. So if you put your mouse over this, you can see that this person received an actual PayPal commission via PayPal. So it says Moby Idea is one of my favorite affiliate networks. They're always releasing new improvements to help affiliates generate even more money. So we actually use Moby Idea as well. It's one of the good networks. So we can see they pay well right there. So that's a good sign when people post their affiliate payments. All right, so if we scroll down, we see that we like what we see. That might be something that we can go with. Now, I like to click on payment proofs as well. And it's basically similar to what we saw earlier, where we can put our mouse over the images and see that, yes, this CPA network actually pays people. Now, like I said, some CPA networks will not have affiliates that are willing to post this information. Some affiliates just don't want you to know, So some affiliates may think, oh, I'm making a lot of money from the CPA network. I don't really want you to know about that. The only way to know that is to really try it out. And then you got some newer CPA networks that are out there. Now, there are a lot of affiliate forums that you can go to. So if you don't find information on affpaying.com, you can go to those forums and try to talk to people who are actively super affiliates or CPA affiliates and find out. All right. So that's another avenue that you can use. Now, typically I like to use affpaying.com to figure out, is the CPA network good, or at least it has a lot of really good reviews. The next website that I use is offervault.com. And offervault.com is a really good site to figure out, okay, what offers is this particular CPA network running? So let's type in Moby Idea. So sometimes we won't see it, but let's see, Moby Idea. Click on network. Okay, so they don't have it, unfortunately, but let's choose something like very popular like Purefly. And I'll remove this here. And by doing that, you can get an idea of the affiliate network and how much they will pay out per lead. All right. Now, the traffic that we're going to be using a specific type of offer, what we call a smart offer or a smart link. And I'll discuss that more in detail in just a minute. But for now, this is basically how you figure out which affiliate network you want to go with and which ones you want to apply to. Because it's really easy to apply to a lot of different affiliate networks, but what I recommend is just find the one that fits you and go with that. Okay, so welcome back. This is video number 4. Let's talk about how to increase your approval rate when you apply to CPA networks. Now, to best understand how to get accepted into the top CPA networks, you need to understand what they're looking for and, most importantly, what they are not looking for. All right, so you see, most CPA networks, they're going to interview you by phone, by Skype, by Telegram, which they're basically messenger systems. So if you don't know what to expect during the interview, they will in no doubt deny you. So if you follow this, it's not a 100% guarantee, but this is what has worked for us. So here is the secret on how to get approved every single time. Like I said, no guarantee, but this is what has worked for us. In fact, this has helped us bypass the interview process. Now, what we found is that sometimes, even though we do this, some really good CPA networks that they have really high quality offers, and they got too many affiliates, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out the cream of the crop. So they want to know, can you actually drive them leads, or are you somebody who's just going to ask them a lot of questions and not running any ads? So here's the number one solution that we have found works. You need to show that you are a legitimate business that knows how to drive leads. So how do we do that? Well, you can make sure that you have a website. We talked about you need to have a website, preferably something that's showing that you are a media buying agency, or in other words, you're somebody who goes out and you buy traffic, or a digital marketing agency. So, like I said, you need to have a WordPress website that looks really professional. One way to go about doing this, if you don't have one right now, is to simply go on themeforce.net, find a digital agency website or a media buying agency website. Find one, and in fact, on themeforce.net is really neat, but you can find a theme, you can pay somebody $50, and somebody will simply log into your website, they'll download the theme, they'll set everything up for you for $50. Then you can simply go in, you can edit the details with your information, or you can simply pay them a little bit more money to add the content in. So having that, I found really helps, because these affiliate managers, they will look at your website and they will say, okay, this person's legitimate or this person's a newbie. Which way should I go? So we found that having a very professional website with information on there that shows that you're a media buying agency usually helps bypass the interview process. Now, once you have that in hand, you are closer to applying. So in other words, I don't recommend that you apply before not having a website. All right. So you realize that CPA networks don't want to deal with people that are newbies. They might be okay if maybe you're being mentored by a super affiliate. You might say, hey, I'm being mentored by a super affiliate. I am still learning, but I'm going to be able to generate leads, and I'm learning XYZ paid traffic, because they want to spend their time on somebody who can drive them leads, right? So just like you have a limited amount of time. You want to spend that time on quality, either people or something that is going to generate revenue for you. Same thing. So if you present yourself as somebody who fits that profile, and on that application, you tell that, hey, I specialize in a very specific traffic source like pop ads, pop unders, maybe push notifications, which is a little box that comes out like Facebook when they alert you that somebody commented on your post. Those are basically what we call push notifications. And of course, you got Facebook ads, etc., etc. And if you talk about, hey, I specialize in XYZ, I run these types of offers, they usually don't even interview. They just get you in to the door. All right, so now you have the very basic blueprint. So just as a recap, have a very professional website, know what kind of traffic source that you're going to use to generate the leads, and that's pretty much it. So with that said, let's move on to video number 5.